Hi, class. I hope you've been enjoying Tuck Everlasting. It was one of my favorite books at your age. And one of the things that I think is very important that we can learn from this book is an analysis of the world's obsession with youth. And by that, I mean the world's obsession with looking young forever, which isn't logical. And yet, people spend a lot of money and a lot of time to try and do that. So, one of the things I wanted to show you is this image. The one that says Lancome Paris is a makeup ad, and the person next to it is the same person but in real life. Can you see how different she looks? She's beautiful, but the advertisement is so airbrushed that it doesn't even look like her. And what do you think her age is? Because on the advertisement side, it looks like they're trying to make her look like she's 20 or 30, like she looked in the 1990s when she was just coming into her own in her movies and she was in all the big movies of the day. She is 50 years old. She's a very beautiful 50-year-old woman, but the advertisement certainly does not show a 50-year-old woman. Here's another example. This is Christy Turlington. She's a supermodel from the 90s. Okay. This is an ad of her, and it's showing how this makeup magically takes away all of the age. It's called the eraser, right? And you can see on the other side, though, is that she does have wrinkles. She does have lines, and they're laugh lines. They're very pretty lines, but she does have those. But the advertisement shows a completely different person. And her age is 49. She's a very young looking 49-year-old, but she certainly is not as young as her advertisement is trying to show. So the world is definitely obsessed with youth. Over 7 million Botox injections happened in the USA during the 2017 year. Botox is an injection, it's a serum that goes into your face, and it can go all over the places where you would get natural lines. And it actually kind of freezes your face. You've probably noticed this in a lot of different movies. They kind of make jokes about it, but a lot of people do it so that they won't get wrinkles because wrinkles are a sign of age. And it's not just recently, though, that youth has been an obsession. It's been for a really long time. I think it has increased in the last little bit, but it's definitely been around for a very long time. So in the 1920s, makeup and lotions for the face really started to emphasize looking young. The fashion for that era was very natural, youthful looking women. And so the products for women were geared for that. And even in ancient times, women would use concoctions and scrubs to help their skin look more youthful. And they would have things in it that were anti inflammatories to make their skin not puffy. And also, there are actually documented excursions in the 1500s looking for the fountain of youth. So, this idea has been around for a really long time. And not just the idea of looking young, but in lots of ways living forever. That's always been something that has been written about and talked about even back in ancient Greek times with the gods. The idea of being immortal has been a big part of many different cultures. So, how does this tie into Tuck Everlasting, right? So, the man in the yellow suit, his whole pursuit of the Tucks was to find this fountain of youth, this thing that would make you live forever. And he spent his whole life looking for it. He had been following the Tuck brothers around for a very long time. And he became obsessed with this idea of living forever. And it says in the books, and I want you to be thinking of these questions as you do this assignment. Why was he specifically looking for the Fountain of Youth? What did he want to do with it? And also, would you buy such a product? If you knew that there was something out there that could help you live forever, would that be something that you would want? So these are some ideas that I really want you to think about as we analyze the book over the next few days and as we do some projects. The first project is going to be something very similar to what I just did here. I want you to use resources such as the internet or magazines to find examples, 2 pictures that show the world's obsession with youth. And if you also want to go the other way, where you think that it's actually not as big of a deal, then go ahead and go that way too, that show 2 examples that people actually aren't that worried about it. But those examples need to have a paragraph. Remember, a paragraph is 5 to 7 sentences, complete sentences, grammatically correct sentences, explaining why these pictures either show an obsession of youth or don't. So you need to pick a side and find evidence for that. And you can do this in a slideshow like I did. You can do it in a Word document. You can also print off the pictures and put them on, kind of make a collage kind of a thing. You're welcome to do whatever you want with that, but make sure that you have the paragraphs for each of the pictures written somewhere on there. You also need to make sure that you cite your sources, all right? Where you found the picture, if you did any research to back up the picture, you need to include either underneath the picture or on a different piece of paper the sources that you used, because we are not going to plagiarize. These are not our things, so we need to make sure that we give credit where credit is due. This is due tomorrow. It should not be that long of an assignment. This should be a fun assignment. I want you to be creative, look for things, think outside of the box, and make sure you come with your assignment to class tomorrow. Thanks. If you have any questions, be sure and email me.